Arne, first of all, let's start with the end to the transfer window and a signing that you did make, albeit it's for the summer, in Jeremy Jacquet. What's he going to bring to you?
Now, another big young talent that we've signed. I think that tells one more time what kind of model we are having. And as we've seen in recent years, that the market of big young talent is not as cheap anymore as it used to be. So big transfer fee, but we also believe we bring in a big talent that can help us out for the short, not this first half season, but when he's with us from the start, and definitely for the long term.
Some will obviously ask the question, why not now?
Why not now? Because we signed him for the summer. And also, as we know, we're still in talks with Ibu. Giovanni Leoni hopefully comes back from an injury after the summer. So yeah, we've signed him for the summer, and we're really happy and glad that we were able to sign him, because I think we were not the only one who were interested in such a big talent. So another big compliment to the people who signed him for the summer.
Were you disappointed not to bring anyone in just to help the situation at the back at the moment?
No, I wouldn't say disappointed, but it was obvious that we've tried to strengthen the team. And I know, because I'm longer in this industry, how difficult that is in the winter break. I also know how difficult it is to strengthen the team if you are working at Liverpool, because not so many players are able to play for us. And then there should be a connection, or I don't know if that's the right word, but between is he good enough and can we afford a player like that? And yeah, that is not always the perfect connection, but if it is, then we sign a player. That's what we did last summer, and that's what we did with Jeremy Jacquet.
How important then was it that you didn't weaken the squad? And obviously we saw the situation with Andy Robertson and talk of him potentially going. Were you ever worried that you would lose Andy at some point?
No, I think it was clear that we didn't want to weaken the squad, because even today we are 16 players out, outfield players out on the training ground, with probably 2 coming back a little bit shorter term with Joe and Jeremy, although Jeremy's not going to be back in 1 or 2 weeks. But so yeah, then it's clear and obvious this week again, it's 3 games in 7 days. There are a lot of games coming up, so the last thing we could use was letting players go, and that's also what we didn't do.
You did mention Ibu, and I'm going to go back to the game against Newcastle and the outpouring of love for Ibu at that point. What did that say about the spirit amongst the group as well?
A lot, but it also says a lot about how loved and liked Ibu is as a player, but definitely also as a person. I think you could see and feel the reaction from his teammates, and throughout the whole game you could already feel it from the fans, but also after he scored. But with Alisson coming all the way from his own half, celebrating a 4-1, it wasn't the winning goal, but the 4-1, tells you how liked and loved Ibu is by his teammates and also by the fans.
Given all of that, how hopeful are you, because you mentioned the fact that you're still in talks with him, that he will stay beyond this summer?
Yeah, you tried in press conferences, you tried over here.
I thought it might be a bit of a more suitable environment in here.
You never know. As we always say, contract talks are held in different rooms than these. And whenever there's news, we share it with the world in rooms where you are. But as long as that's not the situation, these conversations stay private.
But he seems to be a big figure around the club, and certainly when I've dealt with him, he talks about his love for the football club, and it's similar to Andy Robertson in a way, albeit of course he's a bit earlier in his career, and obviously Andy's out of contract in the summer as well.
No, I think these players have done a lot for the club, and will do a lot for the club in the upcoming half year, and who knows longer than that. But yeah, these are, like I said, talks that are taking place somewhere else. But my world is mainly Man City on Sunday. And the good thing for me is that as things stand now, Ibu and Robbo are available for that game.
To Man City, and it feels like it's a pivotal point in the season once again. How do you feel about it?
I think every game of us has been and will be a pivotal moment of the season, because this league is so strong. You're hardly not able to drop points. Or, by the way, a lot of teams drop points. So it's more to say there are no easy or simple games because so many strong teams. I think that is the biggest difference between last season, this season, and maybe the years before in the Premier League, where years before it was, I think, quite clear. The top 3, top 4 was quite obvious and clear. But those 3 or 4 clubs are not the only ones who are able to spend a lot of money anymore. I think there are a lot of clubs now able to spend a lot of money and have a very strong team, strong squad. And as a result of that, it has become more and more competitive than ever before.
When you talk about playing style over winning trophies, how close do you feel you are at the moment to providing that style of play that you want to see, that Liverpool fans want to see? Because it's 10 goals since the defeat to Bournemouth. Against Karabakh was the 6 there, against Newcastle the 4 there.
Yeah, I think if things go hand in hand, that's also what I meant with how important playing good football is, because I believe in the fact that if you don't play good football, it's hardly impossible to win something or to achieve something sustainable. You can always be a bit lucky that you win something somewhere, but you always need to play very good football, in my opinion, to win something. And it's very important for me, but I think also for the club I'm working for, that the football is also of a certain level. I have said many times, we will never be the ones that should get the blame if a game is not exciting, because we always want an exciting game. We never do time wasting. We always want to press high. We always want to bring the ball out from the back. But unfortunately, we face teams that have a different approach, which is completely fair for them. But if you look at the last game and against Newcastle, and I was almost a bit surprised to see the difference between the first half hour against us and the first half hour against City. I think they played 2 to 3 times more long balls against us, and the free kicks and the throw-ins. First half, there wasn't that much playing time in our game against Newcastle. Again, every team should play their style, which is best equipped for playing against us, and it's shown that we are sometimes struggling with that style. But it's quite hard for me that some people blame us. I've tried to explain that with the Barcelona-Real Madrid game, that if it's not always possible for a team to get pace in the game or to get things going if the other team tries to do everything to get that pace out of the game. So I think when we play more open games this season, we've shown that we always want to be part of a game like that, and we've done really well. But games where we've dropped points had a different look and feel, and but that's not what we wanted it to be, but what was forced to us. And now the next step is making sure that if that playing style is forced on us, we are that good that we can change that towards the game we want. But that's not going to be so easy, because if the other team has a corner kick and takes a minute to take it, it's quite difficult. Yeah, we can ask the referee if we can play in that minute with the ball, and or maybe some cheerleaders on the pitch for the fans to like what's happening. But yeah, we have to wait that minute for that throw in or that set piece to be taken, and that's I think also something new in the Premier League. Not only at our games, this is something which you see a lot, and this is what we have to accept and find the right answer to it.
Has there been a change then in style across the Premier League, and it's something that you've had to adjust to? And do you feel now that with the players that you've been able to bring in last summer, that things are getting close to clicking now, that you're getting more used to that kind of situation, dealing with that situation?
No, it's for sure that things have changed. Things have changed massively. I didn't expect the league to be as it is this season, because I was here last season, and for me that was completely different. Maybe once, twice, 3 times we saw similar things as we are seeing this season, but this season it has been a massive change. Only look at the one that's on top of the Premier League. I think it's fair for me to say that they are by far the best set piece team in the league. So yeah, all the teams, because if one team has success, and Arsenal already has the success for a few years in terms of set pieces, try to copy that. We are trying to do much better than we are doing at the moment as well. But maybe we went the other side. If you look at our players, we didn't buy the biggest and the tallest one that are a big threat in set pieces. We've signed many of our players are really technically gifted and are adjusting more and more to that physical style, which the Premier League has become even more and more. And so that's the positive thing, because if technically gifted players can adjust also to that physical style, which we've seen so many times, we see so many times this season, then you might have an advantage over the rest.
So where's the greater pressure this weekend? City obviously still feel that they're in the title race. A win can move you to within 5 points of them, and you need points to qualify for Champions League football next season.
I think this weekend there are again 10 games to be played where there's a lot of pressure for 20 teams. Some are fighting against relegation, some are fighting to qualify for Europe, everyone feels a lot of pressure in this league, and we are one of them, and City is one of them as well, because they want to keep on challenging Arsenal, and we want to come as close as we can towards City again, because they are second at the moment, if I'm right. Yeah, they are second. So number one is of course out of sight, but we want to finish as high as possible, and to do that we know how important it is to beat City, but we also know how difficult that is.
Good luck.
Thank you.